Hi there, and welcome. My name is Ray from Rewire Coaching, and I want to introduce you to something I created to help us, especially queer, polyamorous, LGBTQ plus folks and people pleasers, build real, grounded confidence. So the Confidence Toolkit, or CTK, isn't about faking it till you make it. It's about coming home to yourself. It gives you 7 practical tools you can use in everyday life to help you regulate your emotions, set and uphold boundaries, identify and meet your own needs, rewire limiting beliefs, and reconnect with your most authentic self. Here's a quick rundown of the 7 tools. Number 1, take inventory. Notice what you're bringing into the moment. And this is called what I call my bias key. And it's B for body sensations and emotions, I for ingrained beliefs, A for automatic actions, and S for the story that you made around this scenario. So you find a focus that you are most insecure or unconfident around, and then, or don't believe your abilities around for some reason, and then use the bias tool to create a foundation of where you're at around it. In Take Inventory, you also have the option to learn more about yourself in regards to your attachment style. And your attachment style really gives you some clarity on your ingrained belief, which is the I of the bias. And you can learn something very quickly about when you do the bias tool, where you may sit on the attachment style right away. Now, if you have any questions about this right now, you can either check my playlist on YouTube called The Confidence Toolkit, and you can go to my website at raylifecoaching.com/free-resources and sign up for the Confidence Toolkit, and you'll get the free resource that goes over all these tools. So number 2 of the tools is affirmations. It's not just simply affirming, oh, I'm so great at, no. Affirmations shift your internal narrative by identifying and rewiring your ingrained belief. And so it's imperative that you start with take inventory so you can at least know what you're trying to reprogram and rewrite. And we go through steps on how to do that based on neuroscience. Number 3 is containerize. And containerize, understand the emotional container of a moment. When something starts, what happens inside it and how it ends. So the container is really, if you're inside the container, you are within consent and agreement with yourself and or others, mattering upon who's involved. And that requires communication a lot of the time. When you're outside of the container is when you feel that limit, right? Your boundary has been crossed. So that line, that limit between what's yours, what's within agreement, and what's not, and you've kind of stepped over your boundary, is what Containerize is all about. We discover that line in a few different ways. And then number 4 is care package, where we learn to meet our own needs in real time with compassion and self-soothing tools. We not only meet them, but we understand why we are feeling and acting and telling ourselves this story. It's usually to meet our own needs. And whenever, this is something I learned just recently, whenever we think back to a memory, it's usually because we're trying to meet a need. So it's the same as if I have a feeling and I go, ooh, then it's our body's telling us, ooh, I'm kind of maybe past my container if it's not a good feeling. And maybe there's a need I'm trying to get met, but in a way that's inefficient. And so we learn what that need is through the BAN key, B-A-N key. And B and A stand for the same thing as the bias key, which is body sensations, automatic actions. And then the N is for our necessary needs, because without meeting our necessary needs, we don't feel fulfilled. And so we need to know what that is and why our emotions and body sensations, as well as our actions, are trying to seek that need. Like, oh, it's trying to seek that need they're not bad. They're just learned behavior, actions, and the emotion is telling me I'm kind of doing it past my limit of the container. So number 5 is ritual. We're going to create consistency, meaningful practices that ground us in our truth. And consistency is key because that is what ingrains and rewires. And so ritual can help us create that consistency in this practice. It can help us remember why we're doing it through symbols, which are also part of the subconscious language, which we're trying to speak to. We're trying to use the language of our subconscious, which is our emotions, repetition, like I said, consistency, and also visualization, like the symbols, the imagery. So rituals really help us engage in that practice in speaking to the subconscious. It also feels kind of spiritual in some way. You'll notice rituals are in religious practices a lot, and there's a reason. So number 6, your why. Your why reconnects you with the deeper value and your own independent personal mission, so you always know what you stand for. And also, it kind of tells you, hey, that's where that limit is a little bit. That's why I'm standing in this container. It's a good way of reminding yourself where you're coming from and holding yourself in integrity and accountability. Now, number 7 is visualization. And like I said, the subconscious loves imagery. And visualization really taps into that space, makes it real. And so we use imagery to regulate, rehearse, and reprogram your experience toward what you want. We take one or all of these tools, all the 1 to 6 tools, and we can move it into a visualization. And you will see that I have a meditation in the beginning, like a way of emotionally regulating. That's what the meditation in the beginning is meant for. It's meant to keep you in that space of rest and digest, or the parasympathetic nervous system, and create calm so that you have a theta alpha wave, just like at that sleep stage where you're almost awake, kind of lucid stage. And that helps you connect with the subconscious more so that the rewiring works better. And so that meditation, it also has a mini visualization, which regulates your emotional state. And it's something that you can do at any moment in time, but it's meant so that you can start the process of the rewiring. And then I have a bigger visualization available on that free tool, the Confidence Toolkit. If you just go to raylifecoaching.com/free-resources, I have a bigger visualization that brings it all together. Okay, so you don't have to use these tools in order, but if you're not sure where to start, I always recommend beginning with take inventory. Because why? Because it helps you get present in the moment, which is the foundation for using any of the other tools effectively. You'll realize as you go through some of these tools, you're like, oh, I got to go back. Oh, I got to go back to the take inventory. Well, thank you so very much for joining me today. And I hope you check out my YouTube videos on the Confidence Toolkit. Please check out the Confidence Toolkit on raylifecoaching.com/free-resources. This is August 2025. If you want to be a part of the beta test for the Confidence Toolkit, please contact me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and comment below. Thank you so much.